Let's go racing! Yuga Chukwu straight to the first corner. Great start from him and took a top, and then Kamara's going to have a tough job holding it around the outside, but he goes the long way round, and they're both gone off. Yuga Chukwu and Tarpanen sweep wide. Tarpanen holds the lead. Valtonen coming in round the outside to get into second place. What a start from Juha Valtonen, charging his way forward in the early doors and tucks him behind Tarpanen. Lacorte gets going at the back of the field, but it's Tarpanen who leads the race in front of Valtonen, Kamara and Yuga Chukwu.
And that's the rest of the Finns so far. What a start indeed. Valtonen and Tarpanen leading the way. Kamara up in third. He was actually more lucky than Yuga Chukwu on that one. The young American was pushed out of the way and dropped a few positions in fourth at the moment. But watch out, because I think that Tarpanen is gonna go. Juha Valtonen, sorry, is gonna go on Juha Valtonen on Tuukka Tarpanen, the leader in KART, and there he goes through. Beautifully made by the 107 of the SP Motorsport team, taking the first position at the end of the opening lap. There we go. This is the battle of the Finns. And watch out, because Tuukka Tarpanen has been one of the fastest in the field. Very, very impressive on the outside of turn number 2. But the door is shut, and watch out for Kamara. He's going to try to go around the inside. He might want to try as well. The young Brazilian, what a top 3 at the beginning of lap number 2. Making their way to turn number 5, shutting the door around the apex, and there's no way actually that Tuukka Tarpanen can go for now, but Kamara is going through as well. Corner number 6, beautifully made from the Brazilian, who saw the gap opening, went and just dived into it, up into second place.
Nice move from Rafael Kamara. Juha Valtonen now leading, of course, from Kamara, Tarpanen, Yuga Chukwu and Brando Badoa, who's there in 5th position. Not for long, Nikola Tsolov dives on the inside line with the retro Alonso colours on the DBK Racing Team chassis. Brilliant race so far, and there's Yuga Chukwu getting the move on Tarpanen. Tarpanen drifts wide in the final turn. A little bit of hesitation there from the young Finn, and that's enough for Yuga Chukwu to get the move. Kamara now right in behind Juha Valtonen. Business as usual. Normal service resumed for the man up front. Kamara already looking for a move on Valtonen. Valtonen keeping it nice and tidy on the exit though. So Juha Valtonen is not about to lose the lead. Kamara getting up the inside in the hairpin. I think Kamara's through into the lead. Yes, he is. So Rafael Kamara has got into the lead there past Juha Valtonen. There it is. And the Brazilian got through into turn 5. Yuga Chukwu now lining up Juha Valtonen as well. And that's Tarpanen losing more ground. Badua's gone through, Tsolov's gone through, and Tarpanen going backwards down the order as a result of all of that. So Yuga Chukwu now lining up the move on Valtonen, and the American looks pretty hungry there as he goes for the move. Is he going to make the lunge into the final turn? He has to think about it. No, he's not going to go ugly early. He gets in there with Valtonen, but watch for him into turn 1.
Yeah, 3 laps in into this first qualifying heat of the afternoon, and Rafael Kamara trying to increase his gap, and there goes Yuga Chukwu around the inside of Valtonen. Yes, he makes it stick. A bit of a curb over there into turn number 2, and it's done for Yuga Chukwu, but Valtonen has plenty of pace and time as well on his hands to try to fight back against the young American. Yuga Chukwu, as a result, the fastest on your track, 53.5, and that allowed him actually to get past Valtonen, but the Finn still very much on the pace and in the tail of the young American, and those two actually really getting themselves out of reach from Nikola Tsolov in 4th place. Then we have Brando Badoa in 5th in front of Antonelli, the 2 young Italians trying to make up for some positions that they lost in the opening stages. 2 positions gained for Antonelli, that we haven't seen so lucky so far in terms of pace, Antonelli, but let's wait, of course, how his weekend will fold out. But in the moment, James Wharton trying to make his way up the field, 4 positions as well gained by James Wharton, up in 7 in front of Nothan Johansson, Bertuca and Lesertua closing at the top 10.
So already some good battles as Valtonen closes in on Yuga Chukwu. Nikola Tsolov in P4 in front of Brando Badoa and Kimi Antonelli. There's Tsolov closing in on them, and that's Antonelli. A very late move there on Brando Badoa, gets the move. Whoa. And up into 5th position. That was a lovely pass there from the Mercedes AMG F1 young gun. Brilliant work from Andrea Kimi Antonelli up into 5th position past Brando Badoa, son of the Ferrari test driver Luca Badoa, who was such a great Formula 1 character for many years. But Brando looking to carve his own story, and there's more Formula 1 flavour behind him, because that's James Wharton, part of the Ferrari Drivers Academy in the Paralin. So there's an absolute flavour of world-class motorsport here up at the front end of the field as James Wharton, the Australian, now hustling Brando Badoa down the main straight. Yuga Chukwu up in the lead though. The young driver backed by McLaren is now setting off after Rafael Kamara, the young Brazilian, who is doing a fantastic job in the lead of the race. But Nikola Tsolov on the DBK racing kart in the old vintage Fernando Alonso colours. He now sweeps up the inside of Juha Valtonen and gets through. So the Bulgarian Lion is through into 3rd position past Juha Valtonen.
And the Finn is going to try to fight back. The one we will see trying his hand on gearbox classes for the later this season. Now having a hard time fighting against Nicolas Solov for third place. But in the meantime, look out for Igor Igochukwu. He's trying to get clear, at least get clear of the rest of the field and get close. And oh, beautifully made from Just Wharton. Just got past Brando Badaway further back. This is a battle for 6th place. And Wharton just went on the inside of Badaway into turn number 10, clipping the curb on the outside. It was very, very tight indeed. But Badaway is going to try to fight back against Wharton. There he goes through the young Italian, taking actually Norton Andrensen with him. The World Racing driver just went through as well, making up a position. And Wharton going from 6 to 8, unfortunately, after such a very nice move put together. But it's all down to 0 once again for Wharton. He's going to have to fight back.
That's Antonelli. He's got past Valtonen. Antonelli now in front of Juho Valtonen, having just set the fastest lap. So Kimi Antonelli now in 4th position. He's worked his way through. Andrea Kimi Antonelli in P4 now, chasing after Nicolas Solov. So there is a real spice of excitement up at the sharp end of the field. Looking back to the battle further back, this is Badua and Andreasen, who are now in front of James Wharton. Norton Andreasen very much carrying the mantle for Ward Racing, left over by Dino Beganovic a couple of seasons ago, and leading the team to greatness. Norton Andreasen in 2021 doing a fantastic job, the young Swede, as he pushes on through to the first corner. Just look how close it is in the midfield still, as drivers still working their way through. Tuukka Tarponen has dropped all the way down to 14th. What has happened to the Tony Kart youngster?
Yeah, that's quite a surprise indeed, considering the pace that he's had so far on this track. But Tarponen having a really hard time at the moment defending himself. 11 places dropped all the way to 14. I wonder what happened over there. Maybe an off or a bit of a contact that we missed on track. But certainly there will be a reason behind the very, very hard race that Tarponen has had so far. In the meantime, let's keep a close watch on the top 3. Kamara, Igochukwu, Solov, just in the same picture with Antonelli and Valtonen trying to keep up as well. Still, 0.7 of a second for Antonelli in 4th place. I'm afraid he's still had some laps left on his hand for the young Italian to catch up. But Solov is very much on the charge, and there he goes through, run inside of Igochukwu in turn number 1. Beautifully made. We had it coming for the past 2 laps, and Solov really, really on a charge, and it was clean and neat from Nicolas Solov. Igochukwu might want to try to do the same, lining himself up into the motorway straight, but still a couple of meters left. Missing, sorry, for Igochukwu to try to fight back, at least for now. But Solov very much on a very, very strong pace. Let's have a look. Last lap for Nicolas Solov in 52.8, 52.9 for Rafael Camara, who might start to feel a bit of a trouble behind him, because Solov is very, very close.
Nicolas Solov really with a point to prove here, getting past the European Junior Champion from last year, Yuga Igochukwu, and now setting off after Rafael Camara. They must have absolutely nailed the tyre pressures, because look at Solov. He's hustling Rafael Camara down the straight. 9 laps done, 3 to go, and Solov could make the launch into the first corner here. He's not quite close enough on Rafael Camara, but Nicolas Solov definitely on the pace here as the young Bulgarian Lion is charging forward on the DPK Racing Team Alonso Kart chassis in the vintage Alonso colours that they are running for a few of their drivers this week. They've got 2 liveries this week, the modern traditional Alonso Kart Racing colours for DPK Racing, and they're also using a vintage Alonso livery that he used as a junior way back when in the 90s. But here is the battle between them, and Kamara's starting to go defensive now on Nicolas Solov. He knows that the Bulgarian is there. Yuga Igochukwu having to be defensive as well for Antonelli. 2 battles here, 1 for first, 1 for third. Solov looking like he's going to try and shape up Kamara into the final turn. He has a look, and he's going to launch onto the inside line, and Solov takes the lead. Antonelli takes third. Side by side though, back on the inside, Kamara retakes the lead.
Wow, beautiful. That's one of his favorite corners, that's for sure. We've seen him actually pulling out fantastic moves throughout the past 2 weeks as well in the preparation race. Once again, he just had a better exit into the last turn onto the straight, and as a result, watch out, because Solov is losing momentum, and there goes Antonelli through in turn number 5 up into 2nd, and actually that might be the start of some trouble, I'm afraid, for Kamara, because Igor Igochukwu is just behind in 4th place. So Antonelli just went through into the small gap opened by Solov. Solov is going to try, of course, to shut all the doors, but Igor Igochukwu very much on the pace, on the strong pace, as we're getting near the checkered flag. But Kamara did the right move. He's pulling away, at least trying to pull away 0.5 of a second now in front of Antonelli as we're about to enter the last lap.
His retaliation really has hampered his chances there, because now Solov has been backed into the corner from Antonelli, and Igochukwu is still fighting fit. 1 lap to go, and these 4 having a sensational race. Can Rafael Kamara hang on to the lead of this one from Antonelli Solov and Yugo Chukwu. They are having a sensational duel. Solov was leading the race for a brief second there, and just the momentum lost in losing the place to Kamara has given Antonelli a second wind, and now Antonelli is chasing down Rafael Kamara. He's absolutely charging. Can Antonelli close up on Rafael Kamara? They're in the closing stages of this race, and Antonelli may still have a chance. He's absolutely rapid compared to Kamara. Kamara's worked his tyres very hard. Antonelli's right in there, and let's not forget that Antonelli is on a bit of a comeback drive anyway. He's only got one chance now. It's going to have to be in the right-hander. What will Kamara do to defend? Antonelli's going to look. Kamara to the inside line. Antonelli tries, but it's not enough. Rafael Kamara is going to get the victory in front of Kimi Antonelli, Nikola Solov and Yugo Chukwu. Excellent racecraft from Kamara. When it looked all lost as Solov caught him and passed him, Kamara was straight back on the undercut. And I don't think that Solov was ready for the retaliation so soon. It upset his rhythm. Kamara stormed back ahead, and even though Antonelli was catching, there's nothing that can shake the Brazilian once he gets going. Rafael Kamara, sensational again. He is in the form of his life right now, Rafael Kamara, and this is a big build-up to the World Championships at Speed Park Piragoy on the 31st of October. Can he make it happen? Certainly made it happen in this heat. A great run from Rafael Kamara in front of Andrea, Kimi Antonelli and Nikola Solov. Yugo Chukwu and Juha Valtonen from Brando Badua and James Wharton. Elton Andreasen, Laurence de Sertois and Tuukka Tarpanen back in 10th. Ruben Moya and Alfio Spina from Yannick de Brabanda and Christian Bertucca. Ricardo Gracia and Florian Rousseau from Lucas Malek and Evan Gilter. 19th is Magnus Tekilson, the leading wildcard in front of Ruben Wang. Then Giuliano Hodsem and Rafael Modanese, Magnus Löfqvist and Victoria Blockina, Jessica Descado, Luca Inderfurth, Nicola Lacorte and Ismakuja Akhmakodjiav. Only one retirement from the race. That was Christian Ho, the Singaporean, who had problems in the opening phase of the race, pulling out on lap 4.